All right, I think I cut enough cardboard out of it to where I'm happy with it. It's got a pretty cool shape. It was so big, it was kind of gaudy. And I want it to be kind of gaudy, but not like, I don't know, it was kind of too much. But I wanted that kind of forward shape and that ram air looking look to it in the front. I'm gonna square off there across the top, and then once I make the outside, I'll finish the inside around the inside with a plate. So I'll put some mesh there, and I'm still debating on whether I want to do the window in the side. Not sure. I don't know, because I feel like there's a lot of space right there. It's just too solid, you know. It needs to be broke up somehow. I don't think it needs windows necessarily up here because it tapers down, but it just needs something on the side to break it up. But as far as the shape, I think I'm happy with it. It'll be really similar to the one I had built for giant stack I had on the mock-up 350. This was the cardboard template for the air intake housing or air box, whatever you want to call it, and it's symmetrical. So I got my line right down the middle, and I've got my bends where they need to bend. I went ahead and shot this across so that I can measure this just to double check where I'm at down here. So once I lay out this one side, I can mirror it in CAD, and then it'll all be just perfectly symmetrical when I go to fold it. Wherever there's a line, I'm gonna put relief cuts, and then I'm gonna leave just a little bit of material in certain places, so I'll be able to cut this out in 16 gauge and be able to just bend it by hand wherever I want, because it's going to have some odd and funky angles, but I'm going to be able to manipulate that by hand and to bend it where I want so that it fits just like it should, and that way one side is going to equal the other side. And once I get it where I want it, then I'll go on the inside and I'll weld up those seams. The cool thing about that is, because you weld it up on the inside, the outside is not going to be so bad that it requires a whole lot of welding. Basically just field weld, right? Just to grind it down and get it to the shape that you want. So I usually only leave I really don't want to go more than, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches in between tabs where it's connected. But what that does is it holds it all together just like I need it, and still allows me to bend and manipulate however I need to do it by hand. So I'm not having to use a brake. I don't have to depend on them to get all my angles right. I'm just gonna zip it out like I want it, and then I've got control over where I want my bends and how it should look. So I went ahead and measured everything out. I've got all these measurements to check and double check myself as I lay this side out in CAD. Again, I'll mirror it. Done deal. So here we go. So it ended up with just a little bit more pitch on it, but I gotta come down to meet these studs where the studs come through. So I gotta come down about 1.5 inches from that point to that point, because this thing should go like on and slide back, and like cut a hole in the top of this, and then I'll make a separate piece that folds down like a triangle, and then it'll even the top of this out just a little bit more, plus it'll give me a little bit more room for the top of the filter. Sometimes you lay these out with cardboard or poster board, and you get to a point where something's not quite fitting right, so you just gotta figure it out and make it look right. So in this case, I'm gonna have to cut into this a little bit and then make a separate piece with a little vent in the back. I mean, this is nothing more than a cover. I can more or less cut on this, weld to it, do whatever the heck I want to it to make it look right, because it's just an aesthetic thing. So I will have to hack this out in the top first. So that's what I'm doing next. Okay, that didn't quite work out like I wanted to, but I'm still going to be able to make it work. I had to cut the top, do some bends, modify the location of kind of where the filter's at. I bent it around to where I'm decently happy with it. It still kind of points up, which is what I wanted. From the side, I think it's going to look cool. It's going to have the screen, the mesh in the windows on the sides, and I'm gonna have to fill in. I'll have to fill in these metal pieces and make all this work. It's just gonna be one of those things where I just have to make it up as I go. Almost kind of stealth fighter looking, you know, with all the angles, but I think it adds something to the front. And you know, just as an overall, I mean, it just needed that for some reason to me. Maybe you disagree. That's a Hot Wheels. Subscribe and stay tuned. I'll be welding all this up next.